Antes que nada, le quiero agradecer por haberme dado la oportunidad de participar en este programa del cambio climático, el cual me ha permitido de verdad tomar conciencia y querer aportar un granito de arena para mi planeta. Hoy en día les voy a hablar un poco de lo que realmente me preocupa, cómo me afecta y afecta a la comunidad en general, porque nosotros mismos somos los que provocamos el cambio climático y también somos víctimas del mismo.
Tengo más de 20 años de vivir aquí en Estados Unidos y algo que sí ha sido evidente es el cambio repentino en nuestro clima, en nuestra temperatura. Hay días que podemos ir desde lo más caliente de 80 grados cuando de repente el siguiente día ya estamos en una temperatura de 40, hasta 32 he visto el cambio. Entonces es algo que es impactante también, porque uno no sabe si usar suéter o no usar suéter, todo cambia.
I feel that climate change is a very serious topic that is often overlooked in everyday life. Everyone, including my family and community, is affected by climate change. As a student, I know the impact of climate change on students around the world. Climate change causes many disruptions to a student's education, putting further pressure and stress on the student.
Totalmente preocupada y amenazada porque nunca sabemos ahora hasta qué punto podemos creer el diagnóstico del día. Muchas veces dice va a haber nieve 1 hora y resulta que hay tormentas inmensas, o como ahora que dicen 1 hora de lluvia y puede pasar todo el día. Inundaciones en todas las casas. No hace mucho en Washington hubo una lluvia que se creía que iba a ser de 2 horas y afectó en esas pocas horas por la fuerza de la lluvia y hubo muchas inundaciones en los sótanos.
Mi historia es sobre mi país, El Salvador. Hace años pasó el huracán llamado el Mitch y dejó muchas personas muertas y otras familias sin sus viviendas. Destrozó cantones, colonias y uno de ellos fue mi caserío Llano Las Rosas. Murieron 2 personas y las calles quedaron completamente cerradas de árboles, piedras, oscuro porque fue en la noche, sin poder comunicarse para pedir ayuda. Hasta el día siguiente, 2 personas se fueron sobre las montañas hacia la ciudad para pedir ayuda de alimentos y agua, pues estaban se habían ido a la zona más alta para poder refugiarse. Fue terrible. En una noche cambió la vida casi de todo el país, pues quedó bastante destrozado.
We have been spared the wrath of devastating floods, tornadoes, and extreme temperatures. But that is changing quickly, and not for the better. Winters seem warmer and summers more volatile. The domino effect is more expensive food because agriculture production is affected. No doubt all connected to the climate crisis.
Yo he visto cómo nos afecta el cambio climático, ya que hoy en día hay más desastres naturales y como resultado hay más mortandad. Y también hay muchas migraciones de todo tipo, tanto como de animales como de personas, como de seres humanos.
Yo recuerdo que antes las tormentas no causaban tantos estragos como hoy, ya que debido a la gran cantidad de lluvia que cae, causa inundaciones y recientemente se dio una en nuestro condado en los apartamentos por la Twinburg y lastimosamente murió un niño. También debido a los vientos que hay, se derriban muchos árboles, causando también problemas de electricidad y todo esto afecta a nuestra comunidad.
We are having warmer winters. We can have lots of snow, but by the end of the day, almost everything is gone. We are having earlier summer, which produces extreme heat, intense and heavy storms and flooding, which are causing wildfires, bad air qualities, mosquitoes and ticks that carry chronic diseases, destroying the ecosystems for us humans, animals and plants.
Pienso en los incendios forestales que últimamente y con mayor frecuencia se están provocando no solamente en Estados Unidos, sino alrededor del mundo. Me preocupa pensar que somos nosotros los humanos los responsables de estos incendios forestales y que no estamos tomando conciencia del gran daño que estamos haciendo a nuestro planeta. A mí me preocupa también la sola idea de pensar que debido al cambio climático estos incendios se provoquen por sí solos y entonces nosotros no podamos hacer absolutamente nada para evitarlos.
Maryland is home to one of the largest estuaries in the United States, known as the Chesapeake Bay. The Chesapeake Bay is known for its beauty and bounty of crabs, oysters, watermen, and tourism. Sadly, the effects of climate change has led to dwindling populations of crabs and oysters, which not only affects the biodiversity of the bay, but also the livelihood of those who benefit from it.
There's this trail I like to walk by near my complex that has this river that I enjoy walking through, but over time it has been getting dirtier and less enjoyable. Walking through the trail has made me feel calmed and relaxed, but also upset, seeing it all polluted and barely any wildlife around. Due to the sudden rainstorms and snowfalls, it's been messing with the river, washing up trash like beer cans, plastic bags, old clothes, and cigarette butts, and it affects the wildlife and aesthetic of the local environment. Climate change would increase our workload and make it harder to work. Both are due to increased rain events triggered by climate change. It's hard to work in unpredictable weather, and other rain events cause things like pollution and erosion.
My mom, my brother, and I love to go walking. Our go-to location is Black Hills Park. Black Hills is a local area full of beautiful trees, animals, streams, and a lake. We've been walking here for the past couple years, and every year there's noticeable change. The leaves have become duller and vibrant. They seem as if the dead brown of the winter lingers and the vibrant green of the summer. We love to walk in warm, clear weather, not rainy, hot weather. The time we have for this has decreased as the weather goes from freezing to warm in a heartbeat, then warm to unbearable heat in another heartbeat. Climate change has made the beautiful park less vibrant and has affected the amount of time my family can go walking. Even in my own neighborhood, the forest is full of dead plants and trees.
Some impacts of climate change in the future could be long periods of drought, wildfires, and water and food insecurity. The continued emissions of greenhouse gases will severely affect the health of humans and animals. The air might become filled with unbearable amounts of pollution, and it may become very difficult to breathe. The wildlife of our community is also severely affected by climate change. Animals will suffer from habitat loss, food insecurity, and unsuccessful reproduction.
Los árboles han tenido un colorido muy fuerte ya en la primavera, sin embargo vemos ahora que por el cambio climático, pues las mismas plantas están siendo afectadas. Lo otro es que aún en las tiendas que nosotros vamos a comprar, tenemos el problema que nos siguen ofreciendo como alternativa si no llevamos una bolsa reusable, nos siguen ofreciendo bolsas de plástico que nos cuesta y estamos pagando por destruir el planeta.
It concerns me, however, that people do not seem to make the connection between the amount of plastic in landfills, the number of gas-powered cars on the road, and the increase in the number and intensity of hurricanes, tornadoes, and floods, all due to climate change.
Mis padres son maestros jubilados que tienen ahora sus granjas de terreno, cultivos y animales y sufren las consecuencias de lo que es el cambio climático sobre la tierra y su producción, sobre los animales y sobre las ciudades en general. Durante mi vida allí pude ver el valor de cuidar nuestro planeta, el daño que nosotros mismos ocasionamos en nuestro mundo y en el futuro de nuestros hijos.
In my community, I care about the animals. Their homes are being destroyed. Recently, I saw a tortoise laying eggs by the street in my neighborhood. Its legs were stuck in muddy grass from rain and it could not move until it got help, and then it moved closer to the road. This makes me feel sad because the animals deserve to live in a good environment with proper habitat, food, and water away from human and human-made threats.
I am very concerned how animals may survive a changing climate. In the recent years, I noticed that temperatures started rising. The thermometer scale seems crazy. It climbs higher and higher. When it gets really hot, Ruby's paws can get really hurt. The sidewalk gets dangerous to step on. We have to wait until the late night hours to go out. I have noticed many of our neighbors do the same with their animals.
I realized that during summer the temperatures are really high, which causes dry soil and droughts leading into fall. Also, the temperatures affect the Chesapeake Bay and rising sea levels due to climate change, which is very dangerous for local areas in Maryland. I also noticed that the weather patterns are irregular.
In Montgomery County, we don't see the ocean in plain view, and it might be difficult to see why I'm pointing it out in the first place, and how is the ocean connected to the climate change. However, as a mother of 2 children who are students with the local school system, our family is affected by the extreme weather the ocean brings us more and more often.
Recalling back wonderful memories of playing in the rain with my childhood friends back in Senegal. That rain has now changed to something dangerous, a force that leads to flooding, lives taken due to climate change. Climate change is a problem that is affecting the whole universe, and we need to recognize the impact of it and start finding ways to deal with it now rather than in the future.
I am saddened by the impact of the climate crisis in the Caribbean because those small islands depend on tourism for income. The increased frequency and intensity of hurricanes in that region can totally destroy an island and its economy. I have seen the invasion of sargassum on beaches, floods, and coastline erosion, deterring tourists and locals alike. Coral bleaching is also a hazard. Increasingly warm seawater is destroying the coral around many islands. I believe there is a connection between Montgomery County, Maryland, or the U.S. and other large countries in the world generally, and places like Barbados. Failure by large countries to mitigate climate change translates to bigger impacts and greater damage in poor small states which have lesser chances of surviving or overcoming the damage. I think the result will be a full circle moment if we don't act now.
The accelerated heating of the atmosphere and change of the ocean ecosystem result in sudden storms that destroy everything in their way. This school year, it's been only several weeks since school started, and we already had massive power outages due to the storms that resulted in school closures.
Pudimos reforestar de nuevo la comunidad de nosotros porque quedó bien destrozada. Si todos pusiéramos un granito de arena y sembráramos árboles, en vez de cortarlos, pienso que tuviéramos un clima diferente. Tenemos que trabajar para que nuestras comunidades estén bien.
I love living and being from Maryland and plan to grow old and hopefully start a family here. I hope to one day have kids of my own that I will be able to share the same love for the environment and these experiences with, while creating new memories. That is why I chose to be a climate ambassador, to inform people of the importance of what's going on and to shift their mindset to think locally so that generations to come can enjoy the same environmental experiences that I once did as a kid.
Soy madre, tengo mis hijos, es forjar un mejor futuro para ellos y lamentablemente si no ponemos un poquito de ayuda, un granito de arena, para cuando ellos ya estén grandes va a ser más difícil todavía.
The damage to small states will render those countries unable to feed and clothe themselves and develop. Those people will then be immigrants on the doorsteps of the larger countries seeking help. Optimistically, I think the next generation is aware and ready to confront the crisis. Hopefully, there are more Greta Thunbergs in the world.
Climate change is mainly caused by the activities of humans and mainly due to the burning of fossil fuels. I imagine that in the future we will use little to no fossil fuels. I hope our vehicles will run on electricity. I hope that humans will work together in finding solutions to the main issues of the world like climate change. I hope that we will stop building man-made infrastructure everywhere and start implementing green infrastructure instead. I hope that humans will recognize that the earth is our home and we have to take care of it like it is.
I'm optimistic that once we are all aware of the effect of climate change, we will want to find ways to adapt and make our beautiful planet a safe and a greener place to live.